A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this channeling session, we are going to be talking about the emotions, the loving emotions between the feminine and the masculine. Now here, whatever the masculine feels for the feminine is basically, you can say, impacted by how she looks at her own self. Her own self-image has got a lot to do with how he sees her. Okay. Now these people that I'm channeling today, these are people who met each other very randomly. It was literally, you would say that there are some people who meet out of the blue, like they had never thought that they would meet each other. There was no planning. They did not go online. They did not meet through any parties or like any common people, or they were not taken into like a dating scenario by other people. Nothing. They just like they are in a place. Okay, two different people are in a place. They are just doing their own thing, and they happen to bump into each other. And when this masculine meets the feminine, she's very much into her own self. She's doing her own things. And she's a very positive figure. Positive person, Very chirpy, very bubbly. Like there are people, I would say, who are trekkers. They go for trekking or they go for traveling. Or there are people who sign up into some kind of, some kind of courses like an art class or a cooking class or a yoga class. So it's basically they are focused on themselves somehow. It could be a fun activity also. They could have just signed up for a dance class, so they both like to dance, or one of them likes to dance, the other one is probably just there to do something else, like it's a big auditorium which has a tennis court also, which has a club also. So they could have just met in a setup like that. Now if you resonate with this channeling, then you can accordingly see that if you met your masculine and your masculine you just bumped into a place, without any attempt, then this channeling would resonate with you. From an online perspective, it could also be a workshop that they've met in, because currently the world has changed a lot and many people join classes and they join workshops on internet also, because they want to learn something new, or they follow maybe some person or maybe some activity which they really enjoy. So they've taken up a Zoom class or something, and as a part of their assignment they need to talk to each other, or they are doing some kind of a group course together, so they just bump into each other like that. There is also a possibility over here that he basically sees her somewhere and he then starts to search about her because he is very fascinated by her. And what is very obvious in this is that this feminine, as I said, she is very into herself, okay, and she is also a very thankful person. Like there are some feminines who are constantly doing this or that, some females, but she is the type of person who's really enjoying everything, and she looks at the universe and God, source, as like someone who's really blessed her with so much. So she is when she's talking to other people also. So this masculine is a silent spectator at first, okay. So she is saying that every time I am in my zone and I'm loving my things, I feel like some invisible arms are protecting me or hugging me. And as I said, that they meet somewhere where they are putting their heart and soul into it. So they could even be animal rescuers. So he meets her while she rescues some animal, and then he go back home and he starts looking up for her, about her Instagram, about her on her YouTube or anything, wherever she has posted anything. And or like she's a nature enthusiast. As I said, they could have met in a trekking place or a camping place. If not, even when they do a workshop can be on any subject, and he listens to her talking to other people. And this could also be a place where there is a teacher, and there is a teacher or a coach, and she is conducting a session, and she is also a student. The feminine is a student and the masculine is a student. Both of them are students. So when two people interact, like 2 people or 10 people in a group, they talk, they all give their viewpoints, like I feel this or I feel that, when the teacher asks a question. So whatever answer she gives, he gets very impressed by that answer, by her voice, by her demeanor, the way she carries herself, the way she thinks. I can also read the energy of somebody who's very much into environment, which means that they want to save the planet, they want to clean the rivers, they want to like grow some more trees, do something for Mother Earth. So they are in a place like that. And when she speaks about the nature, Mother Nature, it clicks something in him, because all masculines and all feminines, they are born with this thing in them. They are extremely into contributing for others and doing for others. And by the time they reach this place in their life where they are doing something for others, they have already resolved many problems. They have actually given themselves a lot of therapies. They have given themselves a lot of healing. So she is a very healed person, I would say. And when she talks about even herself, there is a glow in her eyes. There's a tinkle in her eyes. Like there are people who are very childlike, very playful. They are not very serious all the time. They don't go like, oh, I should do it like this only, I should do it like that only. This is how the whole world is seeing. So he is not inspired by her only because of her beauty. He also feels that she's very beautiful. Undoubtedly, I would say that. And he's also a very good looking man. But they are both very good looking because of who they are within. They have a certain confidence in the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they keep their hair, or the way they, just hang out. She is completely unaware that there is a man who's basically a stalker. But I would say it's a positive way of stalking. It's not like he's acting like a weird person. He just wants to know her. So in her personal moments also, he's watching her. And he's observing her. Okay, and he is very enamored by her. So it could even be, they are in some dance class. I don't know why I'm getting this message. There's something to do with dancing, and she's dancing very carefree, very nonchalant, very much into enjoying the choreography or the steps. And he's just looking at her. He's just admiring her. How her body is moving. How, not from a sexual perspective, but how she is, how her energy is, how nice she feels, as a person. So all of that. And she, on the other hand, because of her inner work or because of her connection with God, she is in constant gratitude. She is enjoying because maybe she has suffered a lot in life in her past, or maybe it took her, a while. She took her some time on her own to be where she is. So her energy is of gratitude. Let me say this very clearly. She is constantly enjoying like anything, whatever. So this is the unique thing about this girl. If she is in a park, she is looking at the grass, she's looking at every single flower, she's taking pictures, and she's doing all those things, and if she's a gardener, she's a very good gardener. If she's a cook, she's a very good cook. Not like very good as in professional but someone who makes sure everything is in place. So, when some people cook a meal, some people just cook it because they have to cook it and they will make nice food. But some people take it like a art. The way they keep things, the way they keep cleanliness around them, the way they chop the vegetables. They can chop the vegetables in whatever fashion, but they'll make sure that the shape is nice. So every single that they do, they put a lot of love into it, a lot of love and a lot of gratitude into it. And if she's selling some kind of clothes, maybe she has a blog on clothes, or she's just a clothes seller, everything she collects, everything she brings in her store, and every piece, everything, it's very nicely done and it's very organized. So there is one more thing he gets very attracted towards her, is he feels that she's a very organized person. Everything is, the colors are very vibrant around her. Not like very bright, but there is a nice way that she's done everything. She seems to be a minimalistic person, even on her face, she's not done like a cakey makeup. She's done like little bit of things, one thing or enhancing one feature or the other. So such little things also he's noticing, about her, and also the other details. And the thing is that she is a very feminine person, he feels that. her features, her hair, her, as I said, it's not sexual connotation, but when a man looks at a woman, he's looking at her like she is so delicate, she's so feminine. You know, everything about her is so much like, I want to take care of her. I wish I could get close to her. I wish I could get to know her. I wish I could talk to her. Even if they talk to each other. For example, they are in a setup where they're talking to each other and they are also warm to each other. Like they are cordial, and I'm taking it 2 steps, 3 steps ahead. Still, she is very much unaware that he is looking at her from those perspectives. She is still thinking that, okay, I'm just interacting with somebody. That's about it. I'm interacting with someone and I'm sharing my views. And she's being very honest. As much as she would talk to a person on the street who's approached her for something, she would give them the correct information. Similarly, she's like being correct with him. So in whichever setup they are in, alright? Now when I spoke about gratitude and when I spoke about inner work, we should always remember one thing, that this twin flame journey does not only start when you meet your twin flame, divine masculine and divine feminine. It actually starts many years ago. Like on the other channel, I had shared the story of ugly duckling, how the divine feminine is actually symbolic to the ugly duckling who turns into a beautiful white swan. And when she turns herself into a beautiful white swan, she goes through many hurdles. Now this is the white swan that I'm talking about. This feminine, this female, she appears to be that white swan. So twin flame journey is not only when you meet someone and then you go through certain cycles, because the cycles are also different for different people. I have noticed for some people the separation is very intense, but for some people the separation is a bit subtle, but it is ongoing. I have noticed with some people the recognition happens very late, and everything else happens before. The illumination happens, the harmonization happens, everything happens, but recognition has not happened. So harmonization happens, like they become friends, they start getting to know each other, they are both very careful about their relationship now with each other. So they both spend a good amount of time with each other. It's like they spend maybe 2 years, 3 years just getting to know each other. They are not in a hurry, because maybe in the past both of them were in some toxic relationships, and it took them a lot of pain to get out of those relationships and those shadows that they were chasing, and now they are like, we don't want to do that. So I don't mind knowing this person, I don't mind meeting this person, because this person makes me happy, this person is my happy place, so why don't I just enjoy this phase? And maybe later on, if it all works out after some time we have spent, if both of us, like in the story of Lord Shiva and Parvati, the recognition happened much later from Shiva's side. First Parvati went to him, she said, I'm your wife Sati reborn. He says, I don't know you. Then they talk to each other a few times, and then he tells her that, look, I cannot be in a relationship, please, this is what has happened with me, so please don't come close to me. Then he explains to her, like, why don't you go for a prince, or why don't you go for a businessman? Look at me, look at my dressing sense, look at my hair, look at who I am. I live with so many animals, I have these snakes on me, how will you survive with me? I don't live in palaces, I don't wear the fancy clothes, I am not the type of person you can be with. And she's like, no, I don't care. And then he goes like, okay, I cannot talk to you. And then she gets into inner work, and then slowly and gradually, she goes through surrender phase, then illumination happens, and he's like, okay, what's happening with her? Let me just check on her. Then harmonization happens. So harmonization happens, and then he finally recognizes her. Then when he sees that, okay, she is Sati reborn, oh my god, okay, now I need to go to her. So they know each other from before. It's not like one fine day suddenly Shiva meets her, Parvati, and they go like, yes, this is the one for me. That never happens in their case. So that's the reason why I tell people you should study the twin flame stories of gods and goddesses, because it can give you a lot of information and a lot of inspiration also. So now here in this particular session, one more thing he likes a lot about the feminine is that she is very independent. Now that is a great quality for any woman to have, but he feels that she can go out in the night time. Like, I'm not saying dark night and she's roaming around alone like a stupid person. No. Like, if she wants to do something, if she wants to go to the park and have a, get a cup of coffee and go over there for 20 minutes, she doesn't need a companion always. If she wants to go on a rescue mission, she'll get into her car and just go, or call few people who can help her out, and she'll just get the thing done. If she wants to earn money, she's independent. If she wants to do anything, like even in the place they met, now that is where she's completely solo. Okay, she's not coming with a boyfriend or a brother or a father or any other masculine figure or even any other feminine figure. It's not like she's hanging out with a bunch of friends and all of them come giggling and making noise, and then he's like, oh, who are these bunch of girls? No, she is on her own, and her voice, her singing, even singing is being shown to me that she could be a very nice singer, or she just enjoys to sing. So maybe she's singing somewhere and he just, maybe she's playing guitar in her house. Now this could also be another setup. She's playing guitar in the, say, 1 in the night or 12 in the night. She's just singing some song, and he's somewhere a new tenant in the neighborhood or someone who's just recently bought a property somewhere, and he just happens to hear her voice, and then he's very enamored and very curious, who is this singer, whose voice is this. So he follows her, every time he crosses that spot from where the voice came from, his eyes, he knows that if somebody is singing at this hour and they are playing some musical instrument, I'm sure they must be living here only somewhere. It's not like somebody is singing loudly. It's a little bit of melodious tune, someone is singing. So now all of these things happen, and he is very much hooked on to this energy first. First he's hooked on to the energy, and then he gets hooked on to the person. You can also see that he has made a lot of effort to get to know her. This is also another thing which is prominent in this session. He is, like I said, he's stalking, but he's not stalking like a cheap cringe person. He is very much mature and sensible. So he's like thinking that I cannot just approach her like that, and I cannot just, because he understands that he cannot just get into someone's privacy like that. So he spends good enough of time to research, to find out, or sometimes it just happens naturally. Like I said, if it's they live near the same place or something, and he looks at her coming and going from a grocery store every now and then, or from some salon every now and then, or doing some chores. Maybe she goes to take her dog out for a walk, or some pets she has, and they are maybe visiting the same vet. It could be literally anything, and they just have this conversation, and maybe it happens naturally also that they come and go into the same time. So now he's like, who is she? Who's this person, And now is the time which will come soon in their life where they will confront each other. Like I said, if they have been talking since a long time, but they have not, he has not revealed why is he so interested in her. Maybe she'll confront him that why are you constantly after me, or I always see you around me, don't you have anything better to do? Then maybe he'll tell her that I really like you, and maybe we should just get friendly with each other, please just don't mind it. Or just happens that he is just bumps into her. Maybe they are in the same grocery store, and this is like the 10th time he's already seen her, and maybe she's picking up something and it falls, and then he helps her out. Or maybe her card is not working, some situation has happened, and he says, let me help you out. He does not let the opportunity go, basically, to have the conversation with her, and to make sure that this conversation is not the first and the last conversation. If she talks to me, or if she confronts me, or if anything happens, I have to make sure that I don't let it go like that. I have to do it somehow. So he's going to be very gentleman like a person, gentleman in his behavior, and his energy is also going to be like that, trust me. So if it has already happened, if you feel that yes, you do have someone like that in your life, and that person told you like I like you, and you're confused about it, so you can take it as a sign. But what the universe is saying, that let it happen on its own, let it grow on its own. It's a beautiful way of liking someone and giving them enough space, attention and importance, and without expecting anything, or without becoming too nosy For personal sessions for Twinflame Intuitive Personal Reading and Indian Vedic Twinflame Reading, you can check out the description box below. For therapies like transmutation of anger into love, releasing karmic pattern, chakra therapy, dream interpretation, mind, body and soul connect, and also declutter your life. For those who want to strengthen their current twin flame experience, please go through the description box first, and once you're sure, write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. When it comes to twin flame intuitive and Vedic astrology readings, kindly do not share about your twin flame journey in advance, because we need to get the best and the most accurate answers, the honest answers. If a reader knows everything about you in advance, how can they do a honest reading? That's my question. And despite saying this, and despite people even saying this, that yes, you said this, but still I want to tell you. So that is really surprising to me. Like yesterday only I got a huge email saying that I know that you have been telling in your sessions that I should not tell you anything in advance. I want to book a reading, so please let me know, or here I have booked the reading, but still I wanted to tell you. So what is the point of me giving this disclaimer on every session, if you're going to still do it? A reader should technically not know anything in advance, but during the session we will always discuss the journey. That goes without the saying. You have any doubts, that's the that's the reason why that reading is happening in the first place. However, for therapies, then I will ask you to give me a lot of information. I'll ask you a lot of questions will be sent to you. You have to answer, and you have to do the assignments also, as much as we do personal sessions. Without the 5D union, harmony in 3D is not possible. You can get my book In the Name of Love, which has 5 channel twin flame stories based on 5 different types of twin flame dynamics. The link is given in the description box. All this is done so that we are able to deprogram negativity, because ascension is a lifestyle that we need to keep up with. So my dear friends, here I am going to close this channeling session with a point that I want to say, that when these two people connect, or like if you are going through something similar, whether you're a masculine or whether you're a feminine, maybe you are confused, but you should always follow your intuition. If in your heart you feel protected and guided, then you'll never be in a hurry. The point is that you should not be in a hurry. Even if the other person is hurrying up or something, then also you can tell them that maybe you should take it slow. And if you think in your past you made this situation happen where your ex was like, I want to get into this situation, and just to please them you got into that situation, and still they broke your heart, and now you're thinking, I'm not going to do that, but you're scared that if I'm not going to do that, maybe this new person will lose interest in me. If you're having that fear, then take then 3 times take a step back if this fear is troubling you. Because if someone cannot even give this much time to you, just imagine how are they going to spend their whole life with you. They need to have some patience. So on this note, I'm going to close this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out, and see you in another one.